Hello friends, it's me Mohnish and today we are going to look on a new Jupyter Notebook project. So here we got a data set which is from Kaggle. So the data set will be shown to you in a couple of seconds, but let's discuss the objective of this notebook. So here we are going to perform two tasks to show which country has a higher expenditure on health, developed or developing countries. So and the thing in the task 2 given is show which countries has higher expectancy of life, developed or developing nations. So let's get started, and we are going firstly run the cells, and we are going just the image on developed nations and developing nations. So developed is marked by blue and developing is marked by gray. So India is still developing here, so you can see, and then I just gave a note like developed countries refer to sun and all that. So this can be read, but let's come to our main focus. So we are importing pandas and matplotlib because we need to work with CSV files, data, and graphs. So we are reading our CSV file, which is life expectancy data.csv. So it's stored in my folder already. So I'm just reading the file. So you see, I have one unnamed list which contains the index like 0 1 2, it's matching with the index, then country, then year, then status. Is it developing or developed? Life expectancy, adult, morality, infant deaths, alcohol, and all that, hepatitis B. So it has 23 columns, and from that, because we are going to go with the expenditure, so we are going to go with the total expenditure of this data frame. So let's understand what do we need to do here. So we have to plot a graph with developed versus developing nations on the basis of expenditure on the health here, of course. So this whole data frame is related to health. So the expenditure is also for the health only here. So as we know, Australia and Italy are developed, and Brazil and Colombia are developing. So I just took some random countries, like just by seeing the map, and then I am locating the country and making a data frame. So if you see the data, you have the same country repeated many times because of the different years, like the data of different years. So we're just making a data frame for the Australia, Italy, Brazil, and Colombia. So we can use this later in our project. So you see all Australia data from 2000 to 15. Similarly, we have the Italy data by doing this by doing using the LOC function, and here same with the Brazil and Colombia. So for each, I think we have 23 columns, 15 years, sorry, I mean 16 rows. Like 16 rows means we have around 17 years right here. If I'm not wrong, then we are going to plot the graph. So here I've set the subplots to 1980. So 19 is width and 8 is height. Then label as Australia year. So the year will be the label of the labels, and value will be Australia total expenditure. And we are going to plot the Australia graph on the like our line graph. Then for the Italy, for Brazil and Colombia. Yeah, we are just taking the label once because the years are repeated for all the countries. So it's quite useless to take the year for all the countries because the year is going to stay same even though we take any country. So we should understand why are we taking the data like the labels and values. So we are setting the X label to years, Y label to total expenditure on health, and giving a title. We are giving a legend. So legend will give us this box. If you don't like this small box, you see, I'll just zoom in. So I think I can't zoom in. If I zoom in, it will not make much difference. So here you see, we get this small box. So blue line, Australia. Orange line, Italy. Green line, Brazil. And red line, Colombia. So these are auto, like it's taken automatically, not me. It's not me. And the conclusion is developed countries have higher expenditure on health as compared to developing countries. But this can be understood like with common sense also, like because they're developed, so they must have a high expenditure. But you see, Brazil is not uh, back in the race. It also has a good expenditure. And now let's get to our second task to show which country has higher life expectancy. So we also need to know the expenditure, is it really helping? So we are going to check the life expectancy. So we can use this attribute. It tells us about the life of the people. So it's we can say how effectively is the money being used. We can conclude from it. So one more beautiful image. So 80 plus is this range. 70 plus is the green range. India comes in the 70 plus. Then you see the it's a beautiful combination of colors. But we are going to look at this graph. So here, as we have already made different data frames for all the countries here. So we are going to just plot the graph directly, and we are taking the four countries: Australia, Italy, Brazil, and Colombia, because we already know that two of them are developed and two are developing. So as we enter, control enter, you see the graph. But before that, we need to know the code written here. So here we are creating a label of Australia here. It can be any country, but so I'll just change the country here. For example, Italy. Okay. I'll just where's my wait, yo, yeah, Italy, yo. And then we are going to set the value of Australia to life expect like this is a value for Australia life expectancy, and we are going to plot it with the label Australia developed. Then Italy life expectancy with Italy developed, Brazil life expectancy with Brazil developed. So we are using the plot. We did not like make like subplots. We are plotting this all of them in the same graph, and then value of Colombia to the life expectancy and this label. Then we X label as years, this thing. So you see the small years here. Let's keep it here. You see, so you see the small years here. Then Y label to life expectancy. So this is the Y label you see here. If you see the life expectancy here. Then at the middle, of course, this life expectancy of developed and developing nations. So you see the line graph shows us Australia in blue color, which is having a good life expectancy, which almost got a hike in 2004 than 2003. Starting from 2002, like there's a huge rise in the run. And then Italy also is a similar way, 2004 to 6. I think 2003 to 2007, maybe like it's a good life expectancy, like 87.5. Then Brazil is still a bit low on it, and Colombia is steady but not bad. So in 2000 to 2002, like 2001, Brazil has dropped from like around 3 years. So we can say that's a negative side. So we can infer all this from the data, and there is more life expectancy for developed nations than developing nations. So Even though we had an idea of all of this, but what was the truth? Like, so we just tried to find the truth. Like, is it so like developed nations are always better in everything? So yeah. So in health sector, developed nations are doing much better than developing countries, and that's it for today, friends. If you like this video, just push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. Everyone should get this knowledge, and with that said, bye bye friends. See you in the next video.